Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Generational Sports on this Monday, October 3rd, precisely 7:03 p.m. It's already dark outside. It's about that time of year. I'm hosting as always. It's your boy Connie. Why does it just say we're live now, even though I've been talking this whole time? And now it says that we've also been live for 30 seconds. Doesn't make much sense to me. So hey, listen, you either heard the intro or you didn't hear the intro. Either way, you're here, and we greatly appreciate that. So, with all of that being said, Josh, I can't start another episode without the ever important detail of knowing how you are doing today.
I'm doing good. The weather, I don't know, the weather took a turn.
Got real cold.
For us, it was nice, like cool temperature, and then it got really hot this afternoon, which I'm not a fan of.
Really? What was the temperature for you?
In the morning, it was cool 66, 67,
Really?
and then it got close to the 80s. I think it hit 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I left for class today 9:30 or not even 8:50. I think it was 47.
Really?
Yeah. It was a
The
chilly one
mornings,
today.
early mornings have been like that, like 47, 50.
I mean, I left class 2. It was probably still only about 52, 55. It was a wind, very cloudy. I mean, I wore today. I had to break out the joggers today.
Mm.
I should have broke out the sweatshirt. I didn't because I was walking a little chilly. You know, I hate looking like that one fat kid that's like, I don't need to wear a jacket. And that's what I looked like because everybody else wearing a sweatshirt. Not me.
One of my friends would only like year-round t-shirt shorts. Year-round.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think I wore shorts later than a lot of people, I would say. Probably. And I'm being dead serious. I don't know if I own a long sleeve shirt. Like, I don't think, actually, no, I know I don't own a long sleeve shirt now. And I don't think I wore a long sleeve shirt probably since the time I was last dressed by my mother. Like, I just don't have long sleeve shirts. It's never been for me.
I'm fine with, because I got pretty hairy legs, so I can wear shorts. Like, I don't prefer to, but like it's just the upper body that gets
self-conscious about the legs, Josh.
No, I mean I don't care. It's been like that my whole life, so.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, be you, kid. Don't let nobody tell you anything different.
Hell yeah.
Good. Love to hear that. All right. So with all of that, we get into the show. You know how it's gonna be by now, everybody. We're gonna break down the Monday Night Football game to start with. A little preview / prediction. And then we'll go into the NFL headlines. And then we'll do the whole record prediction thing, everything like that again. Or I should say game picks. Josh, by the way, I was making the graphic for tonight, obviously, with the beautiful picks and everything. I really wrote at the top week 5, and I'm disgusted. Can you believe we're already a quarter of the way done? We waited all this time. We talked about all these things, how excited we were, blah, 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 analysis this, analysis that. And it's week 5. It's basically almost over.
Yeah, I mean, we're already getting to the playoffs. It's people are already getting eliminated from the playoffs.
I mean, I literally vividly remember watching Pats with Dolphins week 1 coming on here and being pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's week 5.
It feels like a lifetime ago that, the Panthers and Baker lose to Cleveland. It feels like a lifetime.
It's going too fast, man. All right. Let's get into
NBA's back soon, though. NBA's back soon.
Yeah, what is that? The 16th?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make some NBA predictions. Not this show, next show. We'll do a next show.
UFC too. UFC's off until the
15th. 2 weeks they're doing fights, huh?
And the fights this weekend, kind of mid, bro.
Yeah. I didn't even know there were fights this weekend.
Mackenzie Dern fought, and I mean it was a pretty good fight against Jan Chohan, but I mean I don't know. We've been waiting for UFC 280. What feels like for a year now.
The wait is unbelievable.
It's gonna be a good payoff though.
I think I'm out to. I think I'm out to B-dubs for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's one of those where I don't even want to risk, even though I legally pay for everything I've ever watched from the UFC. Sometimes the stream cuts out. Maybe
Yeah.
the internet just can't handle it here. So,
Right, right.
I don't think I want to risk that biscuit. Maybe go to B-dubs. Nice couple wings, a drink here and there. Why not? But all right, Monday Night Football, we have the 49ers and the Rams. Now, I should know this. We host a show and everything. Josh, you'll probably know this. You're smarter than me. Smart guy. Who's the home team here? Never mind. I just turned on ESPN. San Francisco's home. Okay, Good to know. Yeah. What do you think the keys are here? I mean, listen, on paper, you would think it's Rams. We've seen what the 49ers have done. I believe they had won 7 or 6 games in a row against the Rams until that playoff loss last year. And I mean, that was with CJ Beathard, and I mean, obviously Jimmy was in there. Nick Mullins, I believe, won a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were winning with everybody.
Yeah.
Literally everybody. So, with all that being said, what do you think happens tonight? A little analysis on the game there, Josh, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the 49ers, you got to have a run game going. The last thing you want to do is get in a shootout against Matthew Stafford when your quarterback's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Who'd they lose to last week?
The 49ers, that would be the Broncos in a nice 11-10 game on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happens when it comes down to Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball. You only get 10 points and you pull an Orlovsky. So kind of want to turn that around. Definitely get the run game going. I'm expecting and probably not going to get it because he's a high-value fantasy guy. Expecting a lot of Debo touches tonight, but I doubt we'll get that. It'll be a lot more Jeff Wilson and other guys. But
no
yeah,
Geno
Michael's
MVP yet, Michael.
Michael's Geno pick came out of nowhere, but he is dead right. Like, Geno's been balling.
No, see, here's where I'm calling fraud, though. Not even fraud, but, like, he doesn't deserve credit. For the simple fact, he drafted Geno on accident, came on the show, and said he did it on accident. So then he just
he's been riding with it. He's been riding with it.
But I mean, once you make a statement like that, you have to ride it. It's like me with Wentz for MVP. True. I've stuck with it for how long now? I don't get any credit for it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think
once you throw something wild at it, you got to stick with it.
Yeah, but I mean, accidentally draft. How do you even accidentally do that? You had to scroll down.
This guy was talking about I was doing math with the kids and at the dinner table. And Michael, your wife's a teacher. First of all, why are you doing the homework?
Yeah, come on.
They're probably in better hands with the opposite. Just throwing that out there.
Just with her being a teacher and Michael being Michael, I think
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you hear that, Michael? You think Josh is always on your side? He just insulted your intelligence too. He said Michael being Michael. You said Michael being Michael.
She does it. She's a teacher. She does it for a living.
Well, nice save there. Your hamstrings must hurt from all that backpedaling, but
No, I love you, Michael. But so I expect a lot of Debo. Probably not going to get it. Probably going to see a lot of Ayuk and Jeff Wilson. But for the Rams, I mean, it's just get your guys the balls. It looks like Cam Akers he looked good last week. But obviously Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson are who you really want to. The 49ers defense overall is good, but the secondary is probably their weakest area. So it's going to be a heavy passing game for Stafford, I'm expecting. So I also have a nice little same game parlay put together.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you let me know?
So we got, the Rams are actually plus 106 money line. Okay, well, so I was like, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Stafford, 200 plus yards. Like that a lot. Cooper Kupp, 13 of the last 15 games he's hit his touchdown. So threw that in there. 13 of the last 15 games he's played.
That's repulsive.
It's insane. And I also have Cam Akers, at least 25 yards. And I think Ayuk, 40 plus yards. So I feel pretty good about that one.
Well, listen, I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Feeling pretty. I never really hit bets when I talk about them on this show. So, we'll see if this turns it around.
You know what? We can all hope. Why not? Yeah, I think there's a lot of what you said, obviously, and I mean, I don't really think it's too much of a hard analysis, but if it's the 49ers, isn't it just kind of do what you've been doing? And,
Mm-hmm.
you would think, oh, maybe that's a little bit more difficult because, the running back injuries. Okay. I could not tell you the last time the 49ers have had a running back for more than like 4 games.
Frank Gore, probably.
Yeah. No, literally, though. That's the craziest part. Like Elijah Mitchell, he's going to be that guy this year. Hurt. The backup comes in. Hurt. Now it's Jeff Wilson. He's had 2 games. I mean, that might be the longest streak since, 2000 or Frank Gore, whatever. But, I mean, they're hurt all the time.
It's crazy, too, because you look at the running backs they've had, like Mostert and Breida. Like, it's not even that they left because they were bad. It's like they left because they're like, hey, no one's healthy here. Like, I'm going to go play somewhere else, take a lesser role, but I'm going to stay healthy.
No, absolutely. But I will say, the one thing I think that really tips the now, actually, before I say this, who are you going with? Oh, no, you picked the Rams in your parlay, so you're going with the Rams, right?
Yep.
Or I want to make sure you're not hedging your bet there. You pick the 49ers, so you take one up in the pick segment, and then you go with the Rams on the parlay. So even if you're wrong, you still win. Anyway, I'm going to go with the Rams as well. Cat's out of the bag. And I'll
feels
say
like a
this.
must win for them. Feels like they need something to like.
The Rams,
they're 2-1, but
I feel like they haven't looked good.
Yeah, they need something big to
like even last week when they beat the Cardinals, and at first it seemed like it was going to be a beatdown, and then it got a little bit closer, and they eventually, I think pulled away again. But yeah, you're right. I don't think that they've looked like the Rams of old for sure, and which is surprising. I mean, and let me tell you something. One of the biggest flops of the year so far has been me calling that Allen Robinson was going to become a god again. This guy is terrible. I mean, I drafted him on the fantasy team, been on the bench the whole year.
This has been the craziest year, like I can think of just players who were like, "Oh, this guy's gonna go off," just not going off. Like it's crazy what's happening.
I mean,
players all over. I saw it. Who was it? I can't remember who the receiver was. Oh no, Chris Olave, the rookie. He's got like more yards than Mike Evans, not Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, like a bunch of top receivers, and he's a rookie. Like it's crazy.
Up until the 4:00 games. Kenny Pickett, and we're going to get to that later on, but this is part of the conversation right now. What did he score? 2 rushing touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
He had more rushing touchdowns than like Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, I think Jonathan Taylor.
Probably, yeah.
And somebody else combined.
Dalvin Cook.
Combined.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Josh, I think I might change up this. And listen, we're getting off track here. I'm gonna bring it back together. Don't worry. I think I might be ditching the running back first strategy in fantasy.
Yeah, I think I'm done with that.
I think
on the outside.
That's what I'm saying.
And
how much people pass these days. Don't get me wrong, McCaffrey got me a solid 25. That receiving touchdown really helped me out.
Yeah.
But the second overall pick, maybe I should have drafted Cooper Kupp. I would have been. I mean, the man's a walking 25.
And you'd think it kind of contradicts itself because you're like, all right, there's so much talent on the outside. I can get guys late that are dogs, but no, we should first 4 rounds should be receivers, Travis Kelce maybe.
I feel like we do it to ourselves. Where it's like, oh, there's a lot of wide receiver talent. And then you look and it's, yeah, he's pretty solid, but I could have had this guy.
Yeah, I took Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins back-to-back rounds, and I'm sick to my stomach looking back on it now.
This year, no one should have drafted an RB1. I mean, I don't know
where to draft Jonathan Taylor though. After last.
No, exactly. And listen, we're gonna get to Jonathan Taylor when we get to that topic, but it ain't been pretty. I'll tell you that. No, but listen. Speaking of not pretty, and I'm gonna wrap it right back around. The thing that I think is really gonna favor the Rams here and why I'm mainly picking them, Trent Williams isn't playing.
Oh, yeah, he is out.
Trent Williams is – this might sound stupid, but I think he might be the only offensive lineman that I think deserves a point swing when it comes to gambling. I swear to God. Like,
Yeah.
with him in, I really do feel more confident that the 49ers should do it. Him being out, and listen, this can come back and bite me in the ass. Very possible. I didn't bet on the game. I don't really care. And we're both taking the Rams, so it's not like I would lose ground anyway. But like, they could win this game, but I'm telling you right now, I'm way more surprised if they win this game without him. Like, he is such a big part of the offense, and it's not because they run to his side every single time, but it's like, his Jimmy's blind side is protected. You can run to that side of the ball, and even if you run maybe up the middle or to the other side, like, he's getting to the second level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trent Williams is getting to the second level. He's getting to the third level. Like, he can run. Like, he's a big dude, but he's athletic. It's kind of like Jason Kelce, but obviously at the left tackle position. But I mean, him being out is like big. Like, we always say nobody really ever pays attention to the linemen and things like that. I absolutely agree, but there are really a couple that I look at. I'm like, that one really kills you.
Yeah.
Like Tampa not having what is it?
Trent Wirfs?
No, Tristan Wirfs is playing. They're center. Oh my gosh.
Ryan Jensen?
Yes, Ryan Jensen. Listen, the Braves closer is Kenley Jansen, and that kept popping into my mind. I was like, I know that is not right. But yeah, him not being there, you can see it hurts the Bucs. When gosh, I'm just forgetting everybody's name now. The dude in Quentin Nelson. There we go. When Quentin Nelson's not there for the Colts, it's like, okay, that's a big deal. Like a prime Tyron Smith back in the day for the Cowboys, if he ever missed a game, that meant something. Like, he's one of those offensive linemen that you look at and it's like, okay, that really does make a big deal. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams. But like you said, I think the 49ers are still going to run the ball. They're still going to try and get after Stafford with, a very good defensive front, obviously.
Is Armstead? I saw he was questionable. I didn't know if he.
I am not positive, honestly.
If he's not there, that's a big problem too, because they need him to get back there a lot.
But you got Bosa over there on that defense. Obviously, Fred Warner, we've talked about him, potentially being one of the best linebackers in the league, if not the best. And then, yeah, it comes to the Rams. It's going to be your playmakers. And I wonder, and now obviously I hope not for you, but if this is the game where, because especially with it being your division rival, they know what you do more than everybody else. I wonder if this is finally one of the games where it's like, Cooper Kupp, you're not doing this. Like, you are not doing this to us again.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe, I don't know, I didn't even look that far into the docket. If we get to the Sunday night game, I assume we will. But I will never understand it. Maybe it's because I'm a Patriot fan, and that is one thing that I will always give Bill credit for. They never let the best player beat them. And you watch some of these games, and it's like, why is Mike Evans one-on-one in the end zone?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, every time. Like, I don't care.
Like Calvin Johnson being one-on-one. Like,
exactly. Like, why was Gronk ever one-on-one with a linebacker in the red zone? Like, I know that they would always start him on the goal line and then motion him out. Okay, I'm immediately putting two people on him or calling a timeout. Like, I know you're going to do it again, probably.
I think the reason they always give for it is because they're like, well, if we put all our attention over there, they're going to beat us another. Like, I'll take my chances with all the other possibilities than a one-on-one with Gronk.
I can go to sleep at night as a coach, and this would be my philosophy. I'm saying, obviously, I haven't coached a damn thing besides my Madden team, which, by the way, I'm great at. Fantastic Madden player, if anybody ever wants some smoke. But I can go to sleep at night as a defensive coordinator being like, you know what? Travis Kelce did not beat us. But damn it, Byron Pringle had one hell of a game. Or McCole Hardman had one hell of a game. Like, I can live with that. No. But the fact that Travis Kelce's going to have 9 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown, which is what it felt like for him yesterday. I don't even know what he did yesterday, but it felt like
what he did is he won me a fantasy game. So
did he?
Shout out to Travis Kelce. But I think the Chiefs, it's a little bit different because, like, yes, you can game plan for Travis Kelce.
9 for 92 and a touchdown.
Yeah, but even when you game plan for him, like, the way Mahomes will call audibles and hot routes and his timing and their chemistry together, it's almost unguardable. Like there's nothing you can really do.
No, yeah, and I saw that with Brady and Gronk. Like it was, people doubled him. That one pass in the Super Bowl against the Rams, 3 people on him.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it is, but like even then, I'll live with that. If he's if he's mossing somebody over 2 people, it's like, you know what? Listen, sometimes good players just do good things.
Yeah.
But I am not leaving you 1-on-1, especially on a 3rd down, a 4th down. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, there are other players on the field, and I understand you can do other things. That guy is not beating me. So I do wonder if this is finally the game where like the 49ers are like, okay, listen, we know what Cup can do. And that's Stafford's guy. Like they brought in Allen Robinson thinking that, maybe it would take some pressure away. First of all, there's no need to because Cooper Kupp is still getting open. Second of all, Matt Stafford hates Allen Robinson, clearly. Like, the man passing the ball. Vic, what's going on? Connie's 7th son of the 7th son. Josh Holder of the Millennium Eye? I don't even know what that is.
I like it, though. I mess with it.
Connie's 7th son of 7th son.
You're the 7th son of the 7th son.
No, but it's Vic. I feel like you're spying on me sometimes, brother. I really do. For the simple fact, I'm rewatching The Lord of the Rings right now.
I need to do that.
I want to watch the Amazon Prime TV show.
Yeah.
So I watched the first one, bro. First of all, by the way, totally forgot they're like 3 hours each.
Yeah, that's why I can't. That's why I haven't done it. They're so long.
Long. It's a haul. It's kind of a haul.
And there's like what, 6? How many of them?
3, just 3.
3? Yeah, so that's
Fellowship of the Ring. I'm on the 2 Towers right now, which is my favorite one, only because of that final battle scene. And then Return of the King. But with all that being said, I just started rewatching Lord of the Rings. Now you're calling me the 7th son of the 7th son when I mean in there.
You should get on House of Dragons ASAP.
But like I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
You don't have to. It's so good right now. You do not have to even know Game of Thrones existed.
I feel like there's some Easter eggs in there I'm gonna miss and be.
It's just names. It's just that's all it is.
Which
it'll probably be cooler watching this first and then Game of Thrones.
Maybe I'll watch because listen, I'm gonna have class on Tuesday, Wednesdays. Maybe I'm gonna finish. I think I'm gonna finish the Lord of the Rings tonight. Because I've already watched one today. I'm halfway through the other one. I gotta watch the football game, so I'll, maybe 12. No, that's probably taking me like 3:30 in the morning. Honestly, we'll find out. At least I'll have it finished by tomorrow. Maybe I'll start Game of Thrones tomorrow.
House of Dragons 5, the episode last night, so good, so good.
I've heard great things. I really have.
It's insane. Like other shows and movies have gotten you to like. You're like, oh, I hate that character. I can't wait for this person to die in the show or whatever. No one does it better than Game of Thrones, bro. No one.
I've heard that a couple of times.
It's so good.
Which excites me because there's nothing more that I love than a character dying who I despise.
Yes. And when you watch Game of Thrones, you'll know the guy. Like, not from House of Dragons, but from the actual Game of Thrones, whenever you do watch it. There's a character in there.
Is it that little king? That little kid?
Yeah. And he has never been more happy to see anything than when he died. It was so good.
Yeah. Thanks for the spoiler. I didn't even know he died.
Well, you knew he would die.
No, I knew he died. I'm not gonna lie. All I want to know because I've seen it get. But is Sean Bean alive in this? I don't know. Who the hell is that?
I don't think he's not in this one. He's not in this one.
Interesting. I don't know who Sean Bean is.
I believe that's Eddard Stark. I think so.
Whatever. All right. How about we move on, though? We've gone off track several times.
While we're off track, Black Panther trailer, fire.
Oh,
fire.
You know what? I woke up. I was sitting in class, and I saw that you had liked it. Which, by the way, what are you doing up at like 7 a.m?
Working, man.
It's disgusting. I saw you liked it. That's how I saw it, and then I watched it. I mean, what are we talking about?
So good, so good.
I listen. You obviously know my most anticipated movie was Doctor Strange because I'm a big Wanda guy. I mean, I think even this I'm more excited for.
Yeah, because I mean, it's gonna be so good, so good. Finally got to see the full new suit for Shuri too, as a Black Panther.
Well, of
Looked
course, a lot
fire.
of people upset about it. Of course.
Oh yeah, and screw all those people. She's gonna be badass.
Why anybody but Sherry? Why'd you have to make it Sherry?
Shut up. Enjoy yourself for one time in your life.
I'm also gonna be very interested to see like how they put like T'Challa died in the
Sean Bean
movie.
is Boromir from the Fellowship of the Ring. Why do I not listen, Vic? I don't remember names very well.
Yeah,
Hold
Sean
on.
Bean. What else? I think that's the same guy that played Eddard Stark, but I don't know.
Is he still? Oh, I hope so. I hope he's still alive.
Who is he?
Oh wait, are you talking about in the show, Vic? I don't know. I haven't watched the Lord of the Rings show yet. But I do hope he's alive. Who was he played by?
You ever watch The Boys?
Sean Bean, my dumbass. Sean Bean is alive in real life.
Okay, good to know that. At least we know that.
I mean, that's all. That's what I know.
Cool.
I haven't seen the show though, Vic. So I'll, haven't seen. Anyway, now we're gonna get back on track. Okay, listen. Sorry if you didn't like what you heard. I think you're wrong anyway. So too bad. Let's get into the Week 4 storylines. And obviously, you cannot talk storylines in the NFL right now without first mentioning Tua. Now, we all saw it on last Sunday against the Bills. Gets knocked down, smashes his head on the ground. He gets up like he just got out of a, day drinking, what's the St. Patrick's Day parade. Stumbling around, falls, gets back up, stumbles again, if you really look at it, but gets caught by the offensive lineman. They both kind of hold him up like, hey, you might not want to walk anymore. Then he comes back into the game. He magically reappears in the Bills game. They obviously go on to win that one in a very exciting game. Everybody kind of thought it was weird that he got back into that game in the first place. Well, then 4 days later, it's Thursday Night Football. They're playing the Bengals. He gets absolutely tornado tackled, it looked like, swung to the ground, smacks his head on the ground again. And I mean, you've seen the pictures enough what his hands were doing, and it was one of the, like, that's what I see in the UFC, Josh.
Yeah.
Like, you see stuff like that in the UFC when somebody gets knocked out and they just go stiff and things like that. So I kind of realized that just because of watching the UFC. I mean, obviously, I don't think it took a rocket scientist to see that something was wrong when, he's locked up like that. But that was one of the like a real bad injury. Like, you don't see that very often. Yeah, like that was freaky looking.
That's something like I remember the one injury I think of where it's like, oh my God, that really just happened, was when Gordon Hayward went up for that lob, his first game with the Celtics. That's the one I always think of, and this too.
I think of that one and the Bears tight end in the end zone.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember who it was, but I mean his knee. I mean his leg is just at an angle. It was disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously a very scary injury, and it looks like we're getting changed already. We basically have the Tua rule now. If you see, so I guess if somebody gets or shows signs that like they've had trauma, like the stumbling and the falling down or anything like that, they cannot come back in the game. Does not matter. You can clear concussion protocol. Don't care. You're not going back in the game. So that's the good that's come out of this. Then the NFLPA investigates, obviously, and they ended up firing the, what is it?
That consulting doctor?
Yeah, it's like the what's the independent? There we go. The independent neurotrauma consultant, because apparently he didn't do a couple things correctly, so they end up firing him. You have the Tua rule now. Everybody's talking about, how did Mike McDaniel let him back in the game no matter what? And I do kind of understand that. Like
that kind of annoys me though. Like when these are people hired to tell you if a player can go in or not. Like that's what they get paid 6-7 figures to do, is to know like, hey, can this guy go out there and play a contact sport after an injury like that? Now, obviously, yeah, Mike McDaniel can use his own opinion, but what are we paying these guys for if we're not going to listen to what they have to say? I mean, obviously he shouldn't have put him back in. Everyone knows that. It's very clear now. But I don't think he should be getting as much of the heat as he's getting.
Well, I can sort of agree with that, but I don't know. Like, to me, it was so simple. Like, how do you see something like that and let somebody back into a game? Like you said, I understand that they said, yeah, like, he's good. Like, he doesn't have the concussion, whatever. But, I mean, that's not a normal thing to see. Like, you got to think about it. And I mean, listen, it is completely different. So this is probably a bad example, but it's really the only example I can give you. That'd be like in the MMA if somebody gets knocked out, and then I'll give him credit since it's the MMA, not the NFL. Tua came back in 30 minutes later, so that'd be like somebody getting knocked out in the MMA at 1:00, and then they have another fight at 8.
Yeah,
like, would you really let them do that in the first place? And now listen, I don't know how true it is, or what if he really means what he's saying, because obviously hindsight is 2020 and everything. And, you can always make yourself look like the hero in this situation. But what Rex Ryan said, I really liked. I believe it was on Sunday Countdown. He said, I looked at every single one of my players like they were my kid. And if I saw something like would you put your kid back into the game? Or would you want someone else's kid, or would you want someone else to be in control of your kid and let him back into the game in that situation? So, I mean, I guess when you look at it that way, and if Rex Ryan's actually telling the truth, that's what he always did, and so he obviously would have never done that. I like it that way, but it's going to be a lot of change because of that one.
And it's like, it's not a good thing that happened, obviously, but it's good that that's going to bring change, because obviously, over the years, CTE and all that has been a very big topic and point of emphasis for the NFL. New rules to protect players, new equipment and everything. The Guardian caps that players have to wear in practice and training camp. So, I mean, it's good that it's going to protect the players more. But, I mean, I don't know. It's a very confusing situation, because – and then you look at him playing Thursday,
how does that happen?
Like, if you can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday – and the doctors are evaluating him, how do you not see that there's something wrong, that he can suit up? Like, no, he probably shouldn't. It's very confusing.
And the other thing I'm confused about, and now listen, I don't know, maybe concussion things have changed since this, and everything's different, whatever. But being in New York, like a few years ago, maybe longer than that, there was a Met player who got a concussion, and he flew back with the team the same day. And people lost their mind. Like, you're going to kill him. Like, how as people could you let him fly back? And this and that and this. And then the Dolphins came out and were like, yeah, he has a concussion. He's flying back with the team. Tua was laughing with Mike McDaniels on the plane ride home watching a movie. So, like, I would assume, since nobody was like, how are you letting this guy fly the same day?
Mm-hmm.
That concussions have changed, that maybe, I don't know, flying doesn't really affect it as much.
How is that even possible? Like, that's crazy. I mean, when you get taken out on a stretcher, there's no reason you should be leaving the hospital that night at all, really.
Yeah, that's a whole medical, discussion to get into that obviously neither one of us know something about, but that does seem like it makes sense. Like, how do you get taken to strapped down too? Like, not like can't move, felt helmet taken off, the face mask, the neck brace, probably everything. Oh yeah, a few tests because here's the thing. They took the MRI, I believe, and they said everything was fine, but they were like, when you get home, you should immediately go get a CT and get a full 360 of it.
Y'all don't got that?
What are you talking about? Like, what if we hit some turbulence and I smacked my head the wrong way? Was that all of a sudden going to do something?
Yeah, that's just.
So listen, neither one of us obviously know how everything works, but that's a crazy thing that you can just be like, all right, fly back with the team. You're good now. Like, that is really something.
Yeah.
I'm just reading some things here. The league and the union said in a joint statement that they agree that modifications to the concussion protocol are needed to enhance player safety. They said have already begun conversations around the use term. Blah blah blah. Let's see if they got anything else here. Joint investigation. All right, here we go. Hey, let's see. Former Cleveland Browns center J.C. Tretter, the NFLPA president, has said a failure in medical judgment is a failure of the protocols when it comes to the well-being of our players. So obviously, NFLPA is looking out for the people. But yeah, it was a scary injury, an ugly one, and obviously there's some changes happening because of it, which is always good. It's not good how we got there. You would obviously wish that they would have looked at something sooner, or that obviously never happens, but you get there somehow, and sometimes it's not always the prettiest thing, and that certainly was not one of them. But obviously, I had to touch on the Tua stuff because
Also crazy how they put out that he's ruled out next week. Like, no, duh. And
yeah,
we're pretty aware.
Could you imagine if he played?
If they were like he's cleared and
clear concussion protocols,
that'd be insane. Oh my
god, that would be. The media would lose its mind.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
But listen, I just went on the whole rant of how it was crazy and it's kind of stupid. I'll play devil's advocate right now. What happens if they did clear him? Like, he's in concussion protocol, whatever. Like, listen, you went through Luke Kuechly all the time. He got many concussions. He eventually got cleared and could play. It wasn't like we were like, okay, you have 2 concussions the same season, you're not playing for the rest of the year. Like, what if he somehow did pass concussion protocol by like Friday?
That's the thing. Like, that's what, like, hindsight, it's easy to be like, how the hell did he play? But when the tweet came out on Thursday that Tua will be starting, nobody on Twitter was like, oh, he should not be playing. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to get a good game. It's Tua versus Joe. Everyone was like that. So it's easy to say hindsight, like, oh, no, he shouldn't have played. But
I think that, because I know I had a little bit of like trepidation in him playing, or I was like, I can't believe that's happening. But in a way, too, I'm kind of like, well, he came back against the Bills and like they're investigating it. So, I mean, there's no way that they're investigating it and he came back into the game and something's really wrong.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess that's part of the story as well, but crazy times. Now we go into some actual football besides the storyline, and one game that a lot of us thought was gonna be the best game of the week turned out to be a very good one. Obviously, that would be the Bills going up against the Ravens. Bills came out on top, I believe, to a 23-20 score. 20-3 at halftime, I believe. 20-3 at halftime. Then, the same thing happened to the Ravens again that happened to them in the Dolphin game. The second half of the game literally did nothing on offense. And then, listen, let's be real. Let's skip to the end of the game where the real story begins. What was the score? 20-20 at that point?
During the Ravens' last drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020.
It's 20-20 at that point. Not the year.
11 plays, like 6-minute drive, very long drive.
Yeah, what was there, like 3 minutes left on the clock when they went for it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4th and goal. They're at about, what would you say, Josh, the 3-4?
Yeah, inside the 5.
Inside the 5, to say the least. And you would think you take your 3 points, you go out 23-20, you make the Bills go down the field and, kick that field goal. Tie the game, or, if they want to be aggressive, leave it to them and they want to go for the touchdown. Well, the Ravens don't do that. They go for the touchdown, and here is where it gets real bad. And where my slight, I wouldn't even say Lamar hate, but the fact that he messed up in a game that they were playing Josh Allen just made me happier. Lamar throws an interception in the end zone on the 4th and goal. That changes everything to me, though. Because you have to think about it. 4th and goal, yeah, you obviously have to score because that's what you're trying to do. But there's no way I'm throwing that unless I know only my receiver can catch it somehow. And yeah, you're obviously down in the goal line, so it's going to be a tight, window to pass it in. But he throws it, gets tipped up in the air, I believe, and then intercepted.
No, Poyer just came in and snagged it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Poyer just came in, took it away. And now they get the ball to 25 because of that?
Mm-hmm.
That is much different than throwing an incomplete pass there and making the Bills go 98 yards, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, obviously, I think the reason they went for it is because it was such a long drive. They caught a lot of breaks. I think that was that the same drive that the first down got called back from Lamar and it was like 3rd and short or something.
I feel like that sounds right.
Yeah, so they had a long drive. Lamar had to make a lot of plays with his legs. It's like, are we really going to, only go up 3 with 4 minutes left after all the work we just put in that drive? And even the throw itself, it was late. Lamar was very late. Duvernay was standing in that corner for a solid 4 or 5 seconds wide open before Lamar threw it. And I still don't think it was a bad throw. I think it was a great defensive play. I think it was, half a second away from being a touchdown to Devin Duvernay. And Poyer just came in, made a great defensive play. He's one of the best safeties in the league, and he made a play. Obviously, hindsight, it's a bad decision. And I heard Colin Cowherd say today, he's like, I love almost everything about Lamar, but when he makes a bad play or throws an interception, he gets frustrated. I've never seen that other than when he took his helmet off after throwing that pick. Like, when has Lamar ever gotten super frustrated?
Why wouldn't you get frustrated either?
Yeah, you just turn the ball over. Like, of course you're going to get upset about that. But, it was, obviously hindsight, like I said, you rather take the 3. I think they should have taken the 3 in general just because, like you said earlier, you leave the decision to gamble up to them. They're down 3. Do they want to play 4th and goal for the lead or tie it up? You let them make that decision. You take your points, you take the lead, and trust your defense, which is tough to say about the Ravens in the second half of the season so far. But, the Bills went down, did what they do, and, wound up scoring. But the Ravens got to figure it out in the second half. That's a 17-point lead you just blew again. You were 3 touchdowns, before. So
you got to figure it out on the defensive side, but you got to figure out why you can't score in the second half of games.
I think they're just being too conservative. They get a lead and they're like, yeah, let's just hold on to they look like the 49ers throughout a whole game.
And Dolphins had a great game.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. They got to figure it out.
But not scoring in the entire second half and listen, the Bills' defense is solid, obviously, but like we said,
you just put up 20 on the first half on them.
Exactly, and Hyde's still out. It's not like he magically came back during halftime. I believe Oliver was still out for this game. I think their rookie cornerback that was playing pretty well broke his hand last week, so I don't know if he played in this game. I doubt it with a broken hand unless he was playing cornerback with the club like a lot of people do. But here's my thing with what Harbaugh said. So just looking it up, he said, I feel like he gave us the best chance to win the game because 7 points, the worst that happens is they go down the field and score. And I think we'll get them stopped. But if they go down the field and score a touchdown, the worst thing that can happen is just you're in overtime.
Yeah, but that's just such a gamble. It's just such a gamble. Especially
and here's my other thing. Here's the little cherry on top that always just pisses me off. You know how he finished it, right? Analytics said it gave us the best chance to win.
God, hate that. It's so annoying. But also I understand going for it if you got kicker issues, you don't trust your kicker. You have one of the most accurate kickers to ever play.
Well, not even that. You could have maybe the worst kicker in the NFL history. It was a 19-yard kick.
Well, I don't trust pressure doesn't matter what the yardage is. Like, hey, we need this kick to take the lead. It's time of the game here, brother.
That's not the Super Bowl though. It was
these kickers every fourth quarter kick is a Super Bowl.
That was cool. See, here's the thing, Josh. Say he misses the field goal. Still a 98-yard drive now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie either. I kind of hate, like, I don't like Josh Allen. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Just the way he's been, like, he's obviously from a player standpoint, like, he's very good, fun to watch. I don't know. He's just been talking trash at the wrong times for me so far this year, and I don't know, complaining a lot. I don't know. It's just I'm not a huge.
You know what? That's fine because there's players that people like that I despise.
I don't despise. I'm just liking him less.
All right, fine. I'll take it that level. I would throat punch Travis Kelce. I cannot stand Travis Kelce. Almost everything he does annoys me to absolutely no end.
His podcast is fire though with his brother.
It is. I have seen clips of it. I've seen a lot of clips over there on the TikTok, as some people would say. Surprise, Rams in 2. All kickers should make every kick every time.
And that's real. Like, that's how you win or lose a job. You should never miss a kick. You have to be Justin Tucker, Adam Vinatieri. You know, you have to.
Hey, but even they miss kicks.
No, not many. You can't, or your job is on the line. Like, you are done.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. But, like, I don't know. I don't understand going for it.
It's I don't like how often that's happening nowadays either. Like,
because you remember last year with when they didn't have Lamar, they did that twice as well. Wasn't it one time they scored the touchdown and then went for 2 instead of kicking, the extra point to tie the game, and then another time I think they went for it on the 4th and goal. Like, yeah, you can trust your players, and I'm all for it. But, like, that's the other thing that's so stupid to me. It's like, oh, I wanted to see what the players were going to. When are the players ever going to be like, you know what, coach, I really don't think we can do this. Kick the field goal, my guy. I don't think we can get in there. Because if that ever came out, you'd be like, okay, well, he's not a competitor. Get him off the team.
No.
So I really just don't understand how you go for it there. And, like, the whole thing of – and that was another thing he said, in the press conference. It kind of puts our defense in a bad spot. But here's where it doesn't make sense to me. He said, I had faith in our defense to stop them. And he goes, but if we kick the field goal there, it puts our defense in a bad spot because they have 4 downs to get it every single time, and we only had 3 downs to get it on this drive. So you're good with your defense enough that you think they're going to stop them. But that one extra down, I mean, don't get me wrong, one extra down is a big deal. Like, you can run the ball on 3rd and 5 now instead of having to pass because, you're going for it on 4th down. You are. So maybe you get it up to a 4th and 1 where you can do a little sneak instead of, you have to pass and then it's 3rd and 5 again or 4th and 5 again.
And when you take the 3, if they're in the red zone, you don't have to stop them 4 times. You just got to stop them 3 and then they'll kick it.
And then tie the game and then you're in overtime.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. I don't know. It's one of those decisions where everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, like analytics, they work this amount of times, and then you'll have people like me where it's like, this is the dumbest decision I've ever seen in my entire life. And the analytics guy will say, well, 62% of the time that one actually worked. Like,
for the Ravens in general, like you were saying, like how they went for 2 last year a couple times, like, and then there's that infamous play of Lamar missing Mark Andrews and everything. Like, they don't have a good track record when it comes to, hey, this play, we go for it, we could win the game. Nah, just don't.
If you're past the opposite 40, go for it. I don't know about that either. Like, I like, especially in a road game. I mean, obviously the Ravens are home, but I'm saying in a situation as a whole here. Like, in a road game, I'm taking my points every time. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Later in the game, 3rd quarter, things like that, or if we're having a great drive, and then maybe on 2nd down we drop the ball, and then the 3rd down was an overthrow, and it's like 4th and 2, where it's like, okay, listen, we've had a great drive, and the only reason that we're at a 4th down right now is because we screwed up. Like, they didn't do anything good, we just didn't execute. I guess I understand that, but I don't know. Like, going for it has become a big thing. And the numbers always say, like, oh, if you go for it this amount of times, then you'll get it. but circumstances is never like equated into any of these things, and I can't stand it. Like, yeah, a 4th and 5. I'm going for it with Brady and Mahomes and Lamar and Josh Allen and all these great quarterbacks. What you think if I got Mitch Trubisky and it's the Steelers, I'm going for it? Or if even the 49ers with Jimmy, I'm less inclined to go for it if I got Jimmy. Like, I would think the Rams are going to go for more 4th downs because they have Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford. And then you go on the other side of the ball, it's like Jimmy G and Debo or Kittle. We're like, don't get me wrong, both are solid options, but like, do you have that much faith in Jimmy? So the fact that circumstances is never brought into this, and here's the other thing that always skews those numbers that nobody ever brings up that annoys the hell out of me. Those 4th and whatevers, like it works this percentage of time, also includes all of the times people had to go for it on 4th down. Like that Chargers game with the Raiders last year. Everybody was like, see, this is why the Chargers went for it all the time. They were 4-7 on 4th downs. Yeah, because the last 3 were the ones you had to get to force the game into overtime. That's why they were 4 for 7. They were 1 for 3 before.
Yeah.
So it's something I'll never understand, clearly. I am on the opposite side of the analytical crowd. But hey, what are you going to do? Listen, I don't think it's a what are you going to do situation here. Cooper Rush is 4-0 as a starter. Cooper Rush, 4-0 as a starter. And listen, I would have said, well, hey, look what, the Buccaneers defense is. That's why Dak looked so bad in week 1. Well, they got mollywopped by the Chiefs. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
They put up 45?
Yeah, I think so. Or 43, something. It was close. Something like that. I do hate math. I was never good at math. What? I get something mathematically wrong, or
I think you're in the majority there. I think I'd say the majority of people do not like math.
Yeah, how are you? Listen, I think if you're a math person, you're kind of strange. Now, listen, I wish I had the skill because I passed algebra with a 66. I passed geometry with like a 72, and then I failed the
66 was a passing grade?
Oh yes. What do you mean? 65 is failing.
I think ours was like 70.
I mean, but you probably had a different grading system then.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think it still would even out.
I don't know. See, now we're talking about math again. I don't know.
Well, listen, Christian, I can always do money math. Don't you worry. I know how dollar bills and 20s and 50s and 100s add up. Just don't ask me to find the square root of what the bill is. Don't ask me to find the area of a $100 bill. It's a $100 bill. That's the area of it. Okay, deal with it. Anyway, Cooper Rush is 4-0 as a starter. Josh, is he the greatest quarterback of all time?
I mean, he looks good. I mean, it's not like these games. He's putting up decent numbers. He's finding his receivers better than Dak was. Like it's honestly pretty impressive how well he's playing. I think it's going to be impossible for it to be an actual conversation with how much money they're paying Dak. If they didn't extend him, I feel like it then could be a conversation of like, hey, should we see how long this guy's playing this good or go back to our franchise guy? They're definitely going to go back to Dak. But, I mean, I would say, like, hey, send him to Carolina next year. Let's see what he can do. But, I mean, any quarterback that comes here is just going to fall
as long
apart.
as Matt Rule's there. I saw you like that tweet of Skip Bayless today.
That was hilarious.
I was going to say, I appreciate you liking that because I probably wouldn't have seen that without you liking it. Fantastic. What he said? He said, Matt Rule is garbage.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I saw way too much stuff about the Panthers on social media today for Matt Rule to still have his job. It was just confusing why everyone's talking about us. We played like dog shit.
So that positivity that you had last week is all gone already.
No, we aren't on the Panthers yet. I'm just saying I was surprised that we were all over social media without any movements happening because I believe in Matt Rule. But Cooper Rush, I mean, he looks good. I think he's obviously these 3 straight wins for him are going to keep him in the league, keep him with a nice contract and a nice bag for as long as he wants, because this is all it takes to be a backup.
It's like Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, get a few good games under your belt, and you're going to have a job until you, I don't know. I mean, who's the last quarterback that like played good early, but then they played enough to be like, all right, that was a one-time thing. He sucks.
Oh, come on. Bro, the dude from Minnesota. For the Minneapolis Miracle.
Okay,
Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Case Keenum had that year. Everybody was like, oh my God, is this him?
Yeah.
And then he's been a backup ever since because he's terrible. I mean, Fitz, yeah. Fitz did it.
But Fitz, even when he retired, he was going to be a starter in Washington. Like, he was going to be starting over Heineke, but he got injured.
Matt Ryan.
Ryan.
Not yet, at least.
I was thinking, I don't know, Mark Sanchez was kind of like that.
Ooh, Brock Osweiler, that's a good one.
Brock Osweiler was like
I'm trying to think. Christian's going to say before I can say it's going to piss me off because I can't think of his name right now. The dude for the Patriots who took over for Brady.
Matt Castle?
Yes. Didn't Matt Castle get like a...
He went to Kansas City and he was decent for a couple of
years.
years.
And who was the other person that had that crazy season? Matt Flynn, maybe? Matt Flynn
had one game against Seattle and got a bag.
I was going to say, he was the one that filled in for Rodgers that one game.
Yeah, he threw 5 touchdowns, 450. Aaron Rodgers actually said on the McAfee show, he said that he called a lot of that game. Like
I did see that.
That's pretty cool, though.
I did see
that. Matt Flynn got a bag from the Seahawks after that, too.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so there are a few quarterbacks.
But then we're talking Brock Osweiler, got a bag. Case Keenum stayed with a job, got a bag.
Sucked though.
I mean, yeah, they can suck, but you have a couple good games.
Oh no, yeah, you can get another contract.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Cooper Rush, he'll get a contract.
Carson Wentz got a contract.
Hey, listen, don't you ever. You know what's the craziest part is? I was just scrolling through TikTok and there was a compilation or like a dude doing a voiceover of that 2015 season. Where he was going to be
this might be the perfect one, like the most ideal had a season bag.
Well, I mean, he had 2 seasons.
He kind of had one game in the season. I think
no. Oh, come on, Josh. What are you, too young or something?
No. I'm saying like that season he was good, but I think the 7 touchdowns in one game kind of made it look a lot better.
But didn't he have like 27 touchdowns and like 3 interceptions at one point?
Yeah, no, he was a dog, but I'm saying like having a 7 touchdown game also.
Oh well, yeah, but I'm saying that season he was on.
That's going to be 10 games with Baker Mayfield. So getting all that in one game is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you.
AJ McCarron too. Yeah.
But yeah, Cooper. I listen here. The good thing for the Cowboys is, and I don't know how much you really go into this. I would say, but. Everybody thought like, oh, the season's over because Dak is gone. So like you obviously in your head you're like, okay, they got to hurry him back. Keep winning games, you don't.
Yeah, no, get that wrist okay. Let's make sure it's
let's make sure the wrist is A-okay. Let's make sure you're healed up, whatever. And then all of a sudden, magically, they lose a game 30-10, and the offense doesn't do anything. And it's like, see, this is why we have Dak. He's back all of a sudden. I feel like that's going to be one of those situations. I really do. Like they're going to let him take his time now because they kept winning. And then the second that they lose a game, it's like, okay, Dak's back. Never mind.
Yeah,
like he's fully healed, 100%. No doubt in my mind.
They obviously have no hope at winning the division with Philly being there. But I mean, like you're saying, if Cooper Rush keeps winning, Dak comes back when he starts to suck. They could maybe make a wild card because the NFC is so bad right now. So bad. I mean, not even just so many question marks. Like it's Philly, and then everyone else is like, are the Rams good? Like, are they?
I think the Rams are good. I just don't think
the Packers good. Are they?
I don't think the Packers are good.
Like, see, there's just so many question marks for what should be the top team.
Dak to Atlanta for 2 firsts, best case scenario.
No, that'd be terrible. Because Atlanta's still going to suck. And then Dallas will have those picks and wind up with a quarterback and waste his life, which is what we're trying to do. So,
No, but we love when Dallas is terrible, though. So I mean,
but then they'll be terrible with two terrible teams picks.
whatever.
I don't like to see Dallas win.
Hate it.
Not fun.
No. The world is like centered when the Cowboys are losing. Really is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they do get Ridley back.
Their receiving core is nice, dude.
I stashed him on a couple dynasty rosters. Had to. All right, next up. Kenny Pickett makes the big old debut against the Jets. Yeah, what was he? I think it was like 13 of 20, but he threw 3 interceptions. Had, I believe, like we said earlier, 2 rushing touchdowns. Tomlin came out and said that they needed a spark, so that's why he benched Trubisky. Obviously, you don't get much of a spark when you throw 3 interceptions, but hey, can't be perfect. I wonder. Now, here's the real question, Josh. Do you think they start him next week?
They already said they will.
They did?
They said they're rolling with Kenny Pickett.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised. They play the Bills. Like,
oh, that is so. That's bogus.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you pick that? Like, why didn't you just start him against the Jets the whole game?
No, because not even that. Like, they're screwed. Have you seen their next 4 games?
Mm-mm.
Gosh, it's bad. They play the Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Eagles.
Yeah, that's 4.
That's 0-4.
Yeah, that's 4 straight.
And then listen, I'm not that. Saints defense is pretty solid. They play the Saints after that. Then they play the Bengals. Colts haven't looked good. Falcons, a winnable game. Then you play the Ravens. Not what you want. Then you play the Panthers, given the Panthers a win there, obviously. Then you play the Raiders. That one could be another loss. Play the Ravens again, and then you finish the season out with the Browns with Deshaun back. This is looking like, listen, everybody said Mike Tom was ever had a losing season. I think that's
Unless
changing.
Kenny Pickett is him. Unless Kenny Pickett is him.
If Kenny Pickett leads this team to a winning season with
what if instead of 0-4, they win 4 straight? Beat the Bills, beat the Dolphins, beat the Eagles. Give the Eagles their first loss of the season.
I think that'll be the most impressive thing that happens the entire year.
That'd be insane.
If they went on a 4-game win streak with those 4 teams, I would be shocked is not even the word.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. That'd be crazy. But, Kenny Pickett, everyone's looking at the 3 interceptions. But then when you actually see the plays, it's like, all right, those weren't the most bonehead throws. That wasn't Nathan Peterman level. Oh my God, did he really just throw?
Man, what was that? 6 interceptions in a game or something?
Yeah, he threw 6. He threw 4 in the first half. I think it was 5 in the first half.
God, probably the worst quarterback performance ever. Panthers on the clock at 1. Will Anderson, C.J. Stroud, or Bryce Young.
Listen, we are desperate at quarterback. Desperate's an understatement, but it's kind of impossible to pass on Will Anderson. Kind of impossible.
Is it really?
He is generational talent, insanely good. Michael Parsons, better younger brother. That good.
Interesting. I have to start watching some Alabama games.
But with that being said, give me Bryce Young. Give me Bryce Young, please.
Okay.
Because he knows how to play with the team without weapons right now and without, competent offense.
And you guys have some weapons.
I thought we did. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays. DJ did. It felt like DJ went off in the first half. He had 4 catches for 25 yards, and it felt like he was going.
I was gonna say I was watching a little bit of that game. It felt like I saw him catching some, and I was like, okay, they're getting him involved. Made it a point.
Yeah.
Will Anderson had more sacks in the second than Hutch did at Michigan last year. Oh, in the SEC, not the second. Yo, Aiden Hutchinson's a dog, by the way.
Dog, absolutely.
Absolute dog. The Eagles trade their pick for DJ next offseason.
Listen, man, I don't even know.
If you imagine AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and DJ,
I'd be very happy for DJ. I'd be happy for him.
That would be one hell of a receiver.
Take Robbie while you're at it. Take him.
I'll listen. Patriots, first round pick, DJ Moore.
In the Panthers press, we're not even on the Panthers yet, but they were asking questions in the locker room. They're like, talking to Brian Burns, is like, is it hard for you to support Baker Mayfield?
I saw that. Stupid question.
What the hell do you mean? That's his teammate. Like, what? You think
Like, what did you think he was gonna say? Like, yeah, this dude really sucks, and I hate playing for him. Like, you know what I'm curious of though? What if that question was asked, but they had like a Jimmy G situation where the backup was actually good? Yeah. Like, what if the 49ers were 1-5 and they went up to Kittle and was like, is it hard to support? No, I can't think of his name.
Trey Lance.
It's hard to support Trey Lance right now.
Yeah, it is kind of.
It's a little difficult considering Jimmy just led us to a Super Bowl a few years ago, and he's sitting his ass on the bench. Like, I wish, and here's the part that I hate. I wish we could get authenticity like that, but if he ever said that, people would be like, you're a terrible person. Yeah. How could you say that about your teammate? The worst. Can't win. You can't win.
No. Very tough.
But yeah, Kenny Pickett's debut, not exactly what you want.
He didn't look terrible. I'll say that. He did not look terrible.
Jets 2-2. Would you look at that? Jets 2-2. The Giants are 3-1.
Yeah.
What a time. What a time to be a New Yorker. Unless you're a Met fan. Choked. I shouldn't really say
the Giants are the worst 3-1 team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Saquon's back, though. That's nice.
Yeah. Is he lead the league in rushing?
I believe so.
Did you see the second half of their game?
The Bears game?
Yeah.
Ugliest game I've watched in quite some time.
The Giants literally did not have a quarterback.
Yeah, Tyrod got hurt. Saquon.
This man, Daniel Jones, Danny Penny, was on the field as a wide receiver. Why? Sam Darnold's out? He's hurt?
Yeah, I got hurt preseason.
I
so wish Matt Corral was healthy, dude. I really wish he was healthy.
But yeah, Daniel Jones was out there as a wide receiver because he was the only one that was allowed to wear the helmet with like the actual play calls in it. So he would call the play, and then it was Saquon as the quarterback. They were just running Wildcat. This man, Brian Dable, was on the sideline literally drawing plays on the whiteboard. The Giants last year, the Giants last year with an actual quarterback of Daniel Jones took a knee on offense while they were losing against the Commanders. Brian Dable might be a head coach.
Jake Fromm was in. I think Jake Fromm came in and they were on like their own 2 or something.
Yep.
And we're taking a knee.
I think Brian Dable's a coach.
I do too. Which is scary because like you can go after very good teams, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, but it's hit or miss. Like sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
Daniels.
Yeah, and the Panthers are about to do that, maybe in 2028, and I'm scared for it.
Go get Eric Bieniemy.
I don't know. Apparently, he doesn't interview good.
Apparently, he doesn't do anything according to was that LaShawn? I think Shady said that he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he was like he doesn't do anything. Like he doesn't.
He's like, that's why there's too many cooks in the kitchen or some stupid saying. I hate that.
They get on what is that? The show they do with Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder.
Pickett?
Yeah, but what's the one they were with Brandon Marshall?
Oh, I Am Athlete?
Yeah, that's where LaShawn's been doing a lot too, so he's starting to get more of a social. I like it. I love it when these players are getting on.
I think the pivot is like 20 times better.
Yeah, the pivot's fire. I mean, Channing Crowder is insane.
Bro, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
He is something else. He is. This man's talking about, I like to see naked people.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, come on. What are we doing here? Speaking about what are we doing, the Colts are broken. They suck.
They're bad.
They're 1-2-1 right now. They lose to the Titans. And Josh, you're kind of questioning in the prompt of this was what's wrong with the Colts. You want to know what's wrong with the Colts? Jonathan Taylor had 20 carries. 20. 2-0. Do you know how many yards he had, Josh?
I saw it was something terrible. Was it like 40 something?
42. 20 carries for 42 yards. Like,
they got him the touches this time, though.
2.1 That's a 2.1 average.
Yeah.
That is just simply terrible.
Yeah, that's not
Like,
a good card.
I don't think Jonathan Taylor's a one-hit wonder. But, like, what happened to the team? Like, he was literally the only reason they won games. And maybe, I guess, teams are obviously, going to try and take that away now, considering I just went on a whole rant about you can't let the team's best player beat you. But, like, is it the offensive line? Is he not seeing holes? Like, I don't know what's happening, but 2.1 yards a carry is not Jonathan Taylor.
It's kind of, to me, like, the offense just, like it has no direction, no game plan, and it's just all out of sorts, which is very weird when you have a dominant running back like that. Like, the game plan is
and a veteran
simple.
quarterback.
Yeah, like, it's pretty simple. Hey, let's try to establish the run with our franchise running back, and then, we trust our quarterback. But it looks like they have no direction. I mean, if it weren't for, Mo Alley Cox and whoever the other tight end, should probably know his name, he beat the Chiefs, but
2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
See, Josh, I don't blame us for not knowing that, though, because last week on the hard count, I went to go look up the guy's name. On NFL.com, they literally didn't have him listed in the stats.
Yep, so I'm blaming them. Blame the NFL.
Exactly. I would know his name, NFL, but you guys didn't put him there. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, but if it wasn't for those two guys, that team would be a very different situation. How do you beat the Chiefs, but you got shut out by the Jags and the Titans just walked all over you? Also, Derrick Henry had a touchdown that was called back, but it was the most grown man thing I've ever seen.
I was going to say, Derrick Henry, that was his first grown man game in a while.
Yeah.
22 for 114 and a touchdown.
Should have had 2 touchdowns. One of those runs, he had 2 guys on his back, threw him off, and just ran in. It was disgusting. But
the O-line is a little worse, but the play calls does not help them.
Yeah.
I feel like they would – I don't know how much play action they run, but, God, their play action game, to me in my head, would have to be lethal. Like, they run, and then a play action to Pittman or one of the tight ends. Like, that's the other thing. I think it's so easy, like, in my head to beat them offensively. It's like, okay, put 8 men in the box, and then you have 2 other players because you get 3 other players, so you get 11. I put an 8 in the box, double covered Michael Pittman, and then whatever wide receiver is on the other side, I'll let them go one-on-one.
Connie said, you know what, screw the tight end and the slot guy. Let them run. They're not getting the ball.
At that point, like, it's Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. Like, do you really have faith? Are you scared of anybody else on that team?
Who else is even on the team, man?
That's the point. I don't even know if I can name other people on the team.
Yeah, I mean, they got Alec Pierce, a rookie. He kind of sucks so far.
Shout out Damian Pierce for getting me 25 fantasy points.
Why isn't Nyheim Hines in the slot every play, though? At least he's a guy can move.
It's funny. Pat kept saying that all offseason.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, listen, we got to get Nyheim Hines in the slot because we don't really have other players there. So let's get our listen, like what the Packers do. Their motto this year is kind of, we want our best 11 on the field. Well, guess what? Your best 11 includes A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. So they're on the – I think last week when they were playing the Bucs, they had already – and that was the 3rd game of the season then? They already had more snaps on the field together than they did the entire season last year. So, like, they've obviously made the adjustment. Colts might be time to make that adjustment. Jonathan Taylor one side, Nyheim Hines the other side, put him in the slot, do something because your offense is terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. I said it week 1, Frank Reich might be done.
You're right.
Still there.
You're certainly right.
He might be the problem.
Look at that. Cooper Kupp already with the catch. Only about 7 yards. Don't get excited, Joe.
I'm excited.
This isn't on the list right now, but bro, how does this man Trevor Lawrence fumble 4 times?
Oh my God. I was so lucky that game too, because one of my bets was the Eagles team total over. And I thought after the first quarter, I was like, oh, we're dead.
14-0.
Yeah. I was like, we are dead. They were frauds. They are not dead.
They were frauds.
But 4 fumbles. I mean, Yeah, that's just insane pocket awareness because two of them were he just did not move in the pocket, and Hargrave and them got back there and just smacked the ball out of his hand. It was kind of crazy to watch. But did you know that their offense was still, according to all these advanced stats and everything, much better than the Panthers. Panthers were dead last this week. They fumbled 4 times and lost all 4 of them, and they were better than us.
Now, I don't know if that says something about the analytics or that the Panthers offense is just that bad.
We're not there yet. I got a lot to say about that. But
well, listen, I'll be quick on this because the next one is the Patriots and the Panthers. Listen, it's our goddamn show. We're going to talk about our teams. Bailey Zappi had to come in. Brian Hoyer in the first quarter smacks his head on the ground. Concussion, out for the game, obviously. Listen, 24-24, I want to say, into overtime. And here's where things annoy me, right? Because there's a lot of like, oh, well, we made it to the overtime with the Packers for a third string quarterback. Like, you should just be happy with that, even though you lost. Wrong.
wrong.
And I'll tell you why you're wrong. Because as things change, you change expectations along with it. Now, going into the season, I believe the Bengals were the 32nd ranked team with some people. They were going to be awful, right? Then all of a sudden, they're winning a lot of games. And so you change your expectation to, oh, listen, they shouldn't finish last, and they're pretty good. Then it's, okay, they made the playoffs. Let's change that. No, then they win the division. Okay, they're going to the playoffs. Let's change that expectation. They won a division. They should probably win a playoff game. Then they destroy people in the playoffs, and it's like, okay, let's change our expectation again. This team should do pretty well in the playoffs. They do. They make it to the Super Bowl. Hey, listen, we've seen them beat the Chiefs. Like, everybody thought that was going to be a lock for them.
Blew out the Ravens, too.
Blew out the Ravens. Like, so let's go win the Super Bowl then. You change your expectations as things go. And I'm in overtime, and my expectations have changed. Especially when the Patriots get the first stop. They punt the ball. The Patriots had the ball at the 50. They ran the ball 5 yards. Second down got stuffed. Third down got stuffed. Fourth down, punted the ball back. You didn't give Bailey Zappi one chance to throw the ball. I completely, obviously understand that he is a third-string quarterback, a rookie this year. Probably never thought he was ever going to be in a game. Or at least didn't hope, I would think. But you have to go and try and win the game now.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations change as the game did. You have the ball at the 50, and you gain 5 yards on first down, I believe. You're telling me you don't throw it ever again? And listen, we just went on the whole thing about analytics and going forward and how I don't know if I agree with it. 4th and 5, you might as well go for it if you're already on the Packers side of the field. You might as well go for it because do you really think you're gonna? Because I think there were 6 minutes left, maybe less, when Rodgers got the ball again. Did you really think you were gonna get the ball back with any time? So you might as well try and go for it, and like, because that's one situation where I think it's a win-win. You go for it, and it's like, okay, you didn't get it, but at least you're aggressive, and you were trying to go for the win in a game that you probably shouldn't have ever been in. Or you do get it. You're at the 40-yard line now. You need, 5-6 yards to get in the field goal range for Nick Folk, who, by the way, I think he has like the longest streak in NFL history now of kicks inside the 50, which is unbelievable. So you have to gain a few more yards to get in the field goal range. That was the second possession overtime. You could win the game. So, I don't know. People, you should be happy. You should have been in that game anyway. No, I'm not. No, I'm not happy.
Not how it works. That's like you're saying, the expectations change when your team's playing good. Like, if you're playing good, you should be like, oh, but we're still going to lose. Like, no, if we're playing good, we should probably go out and win this game.
like if all of a sudden the Jets are 2-2 right now, everybody thought they were going to be terrible. If they go on a 6-game win streak and all of a sudden they're 8-2, should we be like, oh, well, they've outplayed what they were supposed to do, so they can lose the rest of the games for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. They already did better than what we thought. No, it would be a failure if you didn't win another game. that season would become a dud. Like how I don't understand how people don't realize like, okay, my expectation has to change now because the situation changed. So the whole you should be happy they were even in the game. I shouldn't be happy because they lost the game that they were in when they had a very easy chance to win the game.
Yeah. Tough
Cheers,
game.
bro.
I mean, Bailey's happy though. Not too bad. He came in, like you said, third string rookie. Probably did not expect to really see the field this year. And he played well. He looked nice out there.
It wasn't terrible. I've seen worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, go to your Panthers, Josh, huh?
Yeah, this game, it was supposed to be an ugly game, and that's exactly what it was. The Cardinals kind of suck. We kind of suck. This was basically like, hey, if you're watching this game for entertainment, first of all, you're crazy. And if you were, it's probably just because Kyler Murray's out there and he's a very fun player to watch. But we start the game, very nice defensive stop. And, Shea Smith, he fumbles the punt return. Luckily, we got back on it. But then it's the first drive of the game, and it's like 4th and 8 on our own 38, and we go for it. Like, what are you doing? Like, this offense has not moved the ball at all this year, and you're going for it on the first drive. But luckily, the Cardinals did the same thing the next drive, and they didn't get it either. Nice play by Brian Burns, big hit in the backfield. And the offense they couldn't move. We were trying to do little gadget. Why are we throwing screens to Ian Thomas?
I saw your tweet.
Why are we throwing screens to Ian Thomas? Christian McCaffrey's in the backfield. DJ Moore's on the outside, but we're running tight end screens. Like, what are we
certainly
doing?
not throwing it to Gronk or Kittle or Waller or Kelsey.
It's Ian Thomas. He doesn't play good. Why are we giving him the ball? And it was incomplete too. We dropped it. Just dropped it, so it makes it even worse. And then the Cardinals get the ball back, and Frankie Louvu, dog, absolute beast, pick 6, first pick of his career, pick 6. Really nice play. Got a lot of momentum then. We held them to 3. And then we drove down, got a field goal before half. And our defense was playing really well. But with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I think at this point we're down 17-10. Our offense had 7 second-half snaps. With 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Not something you exactly want. That doesn't help your defense that's been playing their butt off, Derek Brown, we drafted him, I can't remember, I think we drafted him 6th a couple years ago out of Auburn. Panthers fans aren't too happy with him, but he's an Aaron Donald. Like, his stats aren't going to jump off the screen like that too much. He's doing his job. He's stuff in the middle. He played really well too. Whole defense played really nice, but I mean, Baker, I guess I just forgot that he's 4'8", and he just can't throw the ball over a defender's head.
I feel like that's become like such a big problem for him. Like, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you remember him ever having that many balls batted down though?
No, I've never seen this anywhere ever. Like, I don't know what it is. Every pass, either he is just getting so unlucky that every pass he throws is just directly in the defender's hand, which would be an insane thing. But I don't know. It's crazy. He's just every pass is, I think his name is Brandon Allen or something, Brady Allen. He batted down like 4 passes this game. One of them led to a pick that got them inside the 5. And then the next drive, 3rd down, batted down again. Also, shout out J.J. Watt, who played this game after almost
getting his heart shocked back in the rhythm.
Yeah, so shout out to J.J. for playing this game. He actually batted the ball that led to the interception. We get that touchdown late or whatever, but just this offense is dead. It's just dead. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence fumbled and lost 4 fumbles, and our offense was significantly worse than that, which is just embarrassing. And it's also weird whenever we're in like panic mode or whatever, the offense moves. Like at the end of the first half, we got in the field goal range. Really nice passes from Baker. That last drive, some really nice plays there too. CMC obviously gets in there. I mean, when he's playing well, like when he's playing well, we should be putting up more. Like, there's no reason our defense should be scoring as much as our offense. There's no reason for that.
I heard something, and maybe I missed it or misheard it, but I thought I swear during the broadcast they said that they're keeping McCaffrey healthy, so they're going to have him, rush the ball first, and then they're going to work him back into receiving. I don't understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, why would you give him the workload?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're paying him like $20 million.
Like, here's my thing: don't not even give him the workload, but like, what do you mean work him back into receiving? Like, give him the receiving and rushing, just not 100% of the snaps.
Yeah,
make him play 65, 45, or 35.
And then those other snaps. I don't think we should be running double reverses. That's probably not something you want to have in the playbook for, when you need a big play. Because you do that and Rashad Higgins drops the ball and it's a turnover when you're in field goal range. So
yeah, not exactly.
That's just kind of, and it sucks too because the double reverse was going to work. DJ was going to throw a dot to, I think, Chuba Hubbard or somebody. So it was going to work, but you just don't do that when the offense has no rhythm. You haven't found any success in anything other than your franchise running back all season. You don't do that. I mean, I believe in Matt Rule. It's just where we're at. Who got asked it? Someone got asked the interview. They're like, "Do you trust Matt Rule in the process?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "What's the process?" And he paused for like 15 seconds, and he was like, football is life." I was like, I'm
football
done.
Is life. Bro. Now that's an answer.
What's the process? We're all supposed to trust in it. What's the process here? But yeah, we suck. I don't even. A quarterback isn't even the answer anymore. Like Josh Allen could be here, and he looks like year one Josh Allen. So we're dead.
It is. It's
believe in that rule though. Tough. Keep on
it. Tough. Listen, silly question, obviously, but we kind of do that. Quarter of the way through the season, the Super Bowl matchup is currently the Eagles and the Chiefs. Clearly, maybe you could throw the Bills. Some people would say.
Nah, Chiefs cooking the Bills. Cooking.
I think.
After watching what they just did to that Tampa Bay defense,
I would not.
I don't think any team. Somehow the Colts did it, but I think that was just the Chiefs having a bad day. But I think this team puts 35 on anybody's head without trying.
I think the Bills do that too, though.
Yeah, but the Chiefs do it better.
Nah, smoother probably for sure.
Yeah.
Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl or quarter way through. Would that mean you're taking the Chiefs then?
Yeah, I think I'd take the Chiefs over anyone right now.
I would just argue against you for the Eagles. Just make it fun. I mean, listen, defense, great. But because here's my thing, right? I think the Bucs defense is very good too, but I don't think they have the secondary the Eagles do. I think the Eagles secondary is better because you got Darius Slay, James Bradbury, the dude from the Saints that they traded for.
CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Dallas Goedert. Hey, Tony Gonzalez said Dallas Goedert is the best tight end in the NFL.
Which is blasphemy.
Well, yeah, it is, but hey.
But he's a dog. He is a dog.
I think he has the most yak in the league.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, maybe not in the league, but for tight ends. I don't know which one is true. Either way, I'm right about one.
He did drop a touchdown that got me very scared because, like I said, I had team total over, and we're in the fourth quarter. It was getting late, and they had the game
getting late early, as some would say.
Yeah, it was not great, but they got it. Miles Sanders, shout out to Miles Sanders getting these touchdowns.
Here's my other thing. I'm real pissed off. Everybody told me in fantasy, don't draft Miles Sanders. Don't draft Miles. Man's a dog.
It's so weird, though, because he's still not getting a lot of the carries, but just when he gets them, he's eating up.
Man is a dog. Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I don't know what happened last year, why they chose, Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell over him, but
yeah, it's certainly something.
A guy.
It is certainly something.
He's a dog.
All right, let's move on to some of our more, fun and out there things of the week. QB of the week. Listen, I think there's only one answer, and if only Michael was here, I'll give it to Geno Smith.
Yep, I agree. I mean, could give it to Goff, same game, but Geno was a dog. 23-30, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. And he juked some boys out.
Unbelievable. The guy is simply unbelievable. You got a player of the week?
I do. A guy a lot of people were very frustrated with this season because some people took him 1. He was in everybody's top 4, top 5, probably top 3. And he finally got in the end zone. and everyone's celebrating. Got in there 3 times this week.
Oh,
Austin Eckler.
yeah.
He had 13 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, 49 yards, 109 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Big week for him and Austin Eckler drafted.
I'm going to go with another running back, different team though. In fact, same game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Damian Pierce. There's
Yeah.
another guy that a lot of people drafted, had high expectations for, especially after the preseason. I believe he had like 120-something yards, scored a touchdown, had like a 70-yard touchdown
Yeah, he
run as
broke
well
one.
in that game. And also, he helped me win my fantasy game to make me 4-0 in my ESPN money league. So, big.
Also a tip, and it might not work anymore since I'm tipping it now, but Texans games and Lions games, probably just hammer the overs. You know,
Yeah, you're
that's
not
probably
wrong.
where you want to do that, especially Lions games. It's because they're going to put up 48 and lose. So
They're averaging 35 a game.
1-3.
No, 32, and they're giving up 35 a game.
So that sucks, man. That sucks.
I think Aiden Hutchinson was hurt, though, in this game. I don't think he played.
Gino put up 48 on their
So
head.
get Hutch back, some pass rush. Rodrigo, what are we doing, guy?
Yeah, come on. Let's fly around a bit, Rodrigo. Come on.
Gosh, killing us out here. My 5th favorite team. Only because of Motor City Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
I
have,
want them to be on Hard Knocks.
do you have a favorite team list, or are you just Panthers all the way?
No, Panthers and Bears are my 2 teams.
I think if I made a top 5 list, it would be Patriots. Then I go, believe it or not, I always loved the Raiders. I always played as the Raiders. Then I go Chargers. Then, believe it or not, my brother's an Eagles fan, so like I've always kind of just enjoyed them, so I would go with the Eagles. And then now, because of Dan Campbell, I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, mine would go Panthers, Bears, because I grew up a Bears fan, being in Illinois and all that. Then Vikings. Adrian Peterson was my guy growing up. And
Makes
Brett
sense.
Favre was also my favorite player growing up. So when he went there, I was Vikings fan for a couple seasons. And then probably the Steelers, because my brother and sister are Steelers fans growing up, so I watch them a lot too.
Okay.
That'd be it. Fifth, just my favorite. I don't know. Probably the Chiefs. I don't know, Chiefs. Like
It's
Mahomes
just
a lot.
smooth. Why not?
Yeah.
Alrighty. This has kind of become your segment. Oh no, I lied. We gotta do respect. You got any players to add to the put some respect on my name?
I don't know. It's hard to put them in there sometimes, just because it's like, is it really like people need to start putting respect on their name, or is it like, I don't know. I don't have anybody this week, but we may need to rework the title of that group.
Yeah,
something. It's hard to add people to it. It's just hard.
We'll
Like
take
someone has to blow up, or someone has to be very much disrespected, and then have a good game for someone to really classify. Like Keenan Allen, like it was a very easy add there. Mike Evans preseason, we put him in there. Like, yeah,
we'll have to start looking. Prayer Circle. I don't got anybody this week. No.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
This could be the first week we
First,
don't play
everyone
the
in
Prayer
that
Circle,
was
right?
impacted by the hurricane.
Facts. Well, that's not football related, but had a few friends in Florida. All good, thankfully.
Yeah.
So, those pictures from Fort Myers
Insane.
are unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, hope everybody out there, if we have any fans in Florida, and if not, if you got family in Florida, whatever, hope everybody is A-OK. Then we get to winners and losers, which has kind of become your segment, Josh. I talk a lot. Might as well. Oh, who's that? Jeff Wilson Jr. long touchdown run. 7-3 49ers.
That is not fun. Winners. Austin Eckler drafters, talked about him for the player of the week. Huge win for them. Seattle Mariner fans, very, very big week for them.
Okay, Josh.
You like that?
21-year drought over.
Yeah, finally. Good for them. Shout out Clayton. I think his name has been, I believe, in the Seattle Mariners for
This is
all
true.
season, before the season as well. Those are the only winners, though. Losers, the guy who dropped Aaron Judge's home run ball. That was
See, I'm gonna disagree with you here. only because that's a very difficult catch. Leaning over the railing. And listen, here's the thing. I would agree with you if leaning over the railing it was a 2-foot drop. That's a solid 20, 25-foot drop.
You're right, but he's still a loser because he had a chance and he didn't get it.
All right.
I'm not saying he's a loser because he didn't dive for it. He's just a loser because he was close and it didn't happen.
Okay.
That's just why he's a loser. In the NBA, people who keep thinking Shea is going to request a trade or whatever, no, he signed the extension. He said he's here. He said he knows what he signed up for. He also said we're not going to be losing for 2 months longer. I don't know how true that is. I kind of want Victor Wembanyama to go look at the video.
I saw.
So he's 9 feet tall. He's 9 feet tall.
That like
with a wet jumper and handles. Like, yeah, I want him and Chet on the same team so badly. This is going to be like.
I'm on the Thunder in 2K. A lot of pick and rolls with Chet.
Oh yeah,
I'm a small forward. I'm a small forward slasher. I'm throwing a lot of oops to him.
Oh yeah, better be. But this NBA draft lottery, this is like Zion. This is LeBron. This is Shaq. Like it's that level of how good this guy is.
Okay.
So we need to have a bad season. Sorry, Shea. Maybe that game, game 60, 65, maybe think about heading home and just
spend time with the family.
Yeah, there are too many bad teams this year to have you play all 82. So, it's kind of been recently. Matt Rule's been on here, Fat Rule, but no, I believe in him, so he's not a loser. I'm trusting the process. Don't know what the process is, but I'm bought in.
Well, listen, with that being said, we can go into our picks, okay? Okay, hold on. Let me get the nice presentation mode up. There we go. Beautiful. Presentation mode. Getting to our week 5 picks, but before we can pick for week 5, we got to remember what happened in week 4. Josh, let the people know.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stinker for your boy. 4-11.
Yeah, that is
not ideal. Lost a couple close ones. Rode with my boys in Carolina. Took a shot on, Broncos country. Let's ride. It was not an ideal week for me. And Connie, as you can see, won most of those matchups, but it was once again a crazy week in the NFL. The Jets win and all these other teams win. So although he did kick my ass this week, still only 8-7 at 500 still. So
I am so mad because I was really watching that Giant game occasionally, thinking that I picked the Giants the whole time. And I did go back and listen to the pod. I did pick the Bears, and I don't know why. I really thought I picked the Giants the whole time.
Didn't they just come off a win?
Yeah, but so did the Giants. No, the Giants lost to the Cowboys. But still, the game was at home. I don't think the Bears are good anyway. I really thought I picked the Giants.
You look at the games we lost to. I was so close to taking Atlanta. So damn close.
Who did they play?
Cleveland. They won. Atlanta won too.
I remember I tried to talk you into that too.
Yeah.
Because I was very confident in the Cleveland.
We rode with Motor City Dan Campbell, lost. Rode with Jonathan Taylor, lost. Went with the felt like obvious answer, Pittsburgh, lost. So just some
Zach Wilson
tough beats.
Alrighty. Well, let's see if we can be better in week 5. I mean, I
don't even know what to do now.
I can go 9-7 because we both picked the Rams, so I can finally be over 500.
That's true. But, I was actually the first one to be over 500 like that.
What happened?
I was actually above 500 last week. So.
Yeah, what were you? Yeah, you were winning by a game going into
24, 23-1. I missed those days. It was nice. It was a nice week.
Oh man. Hopefully I'll be 32, 31-1 at the end of this.
I might be 28, 49-1 at the end of this week.
Well, let's find out what we're both going to be, huh? We kick it off Thursday Night Football. We got the Colts at the Broncos. I forgot we're supposed to do this together. Colts.
No, you pick.
Okay, I'm going with the Broncos.
I'll go with the Broncos.
I mean, The Colts have listen. You know the Colts are going to win this game, just because we're saying this. But the Colts have looked terrible. Jonathan Taylor hurt his ankle, so I don't even know if he's going to play. Although Broncos, Javonte Williams out for the season, torn ACL. Melvin Gordon is going to be the new running back. He only fumbled 5 times in his last 45 carries.
Yeah, I wonder what the odds on the prop for him to fumble are going to be. I bet they're like -1.
And I would say no because I think he's going to hold on to it for dear life. So we both got the Broncos in that one. Another London game. Back-to-back weeks we're going to go get some crumpets. Giants visit the Packers in London. Yeah, this is pretty easy for me.
Yeah, Packers.
Yeah, I mean, that's very difficult. Lions at the Pats. Man.
Please, we both take the over.
Yeah. Both take the over. Man. I want you to go first. I went first for the Thursday night game.
Mac Jones definitely out.
I don't know. There were reports that he might have played this week, so I'm being dead ass. I literally don't know.
No, give me the Lions. They're due.
God. See, I really thought you were gonna pick the Patriots, and I wanted to pick the Lions. So like, this puts me in a weird spot.
They're your boys.
If they suck.
Damian Harris is going to have 800 yards.
You know, I will go with the Pats. Bill knows how to beat Jared Goff. You know?
But does he know how to beat Detroit, Jared Goff?
Yeah,
That's a different animal.
That's true.
He is a.
You know what the craziest part is? Like, what if Jared Goff has like a very good season this year? Like, everybody talks about, oh, Detroit needs a quarterback, What if he has a great year, but the defense sucks the entire season and they still end up being bad? Like, do you take the quarterback or are you like, okay, we can deal with Jared Goff for another year, but we got to do something to fix his defense? That's going to be a very interesting storyline.
Because how many years left on his contract? Probably 2 or 3?
Probably, I would assume, yeah.
If he keeps playing like this, you can't really blame him. Like, he's been balling. So I think they would. If they get the number 1 pick, like if they just suck, you take Will Anderson.
Yeah, I would agree. Steelers at the Bills. Yeah, come on. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Chargers at the Browns.
Whoa, the tone.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, I'm Chargers, baby.
I'm going to go with the Browns.
Is there a reason here?
There is. The Chargers' run defense is the worst thing I have ever seen in football. Like, they cannot stop a run if every person's family was on the line.
That's true.
And the Browns got the best running back in football.
If Nick Chubb runs for 200
Nick Chubb might have 250.
Yeah, and like 4 TDs. Chargers are still going to win by like 3 scores.
I don't know. No, Joey Bosa for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Chargers
I
are
don't
still
know. It seems like Keenan Allen's never going to play again.
Austin Eckler's back. He's going to have 5 touchdowns.
I am going to go with the Browns.
Damn, you're gonna get lucky.
I don't know. The Bears at the Vikings, pretty easy for me. I'll go with the Vikings.
Yeah.
By the way, did not see a single snap of that game.
I wasn't even awake when the kick.
I'm not gonna lie. I woke up at 1:00.
Yeah, I woke up at 11:30.
Woke up at 1:00 just in time for the games. Did not see a single snap. Haven't even watched the highlights yet of the Vikings Saint game. Although I did see they lost on a double doink.
Yeah,
Saints lost on the double.
That was not a great start because I picked New Orleans too. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
I woke up and I was like, "Oh my god, there was a game on."
Yeah, Andy Dalton versus Kirk Cousins. No thanks, I'll sleep.
Yeah, that slumber felt fantastic. All right, Where are we? Seahawks at the Saints. Yeah, Jesus.
Seahawks.
I'm not losing ground on a game like this. I'm not. I'll go with the Seahawks too. Although, listen, Saints look pretty good with Andy Dalton. They look pretty good.
They do.
But, when Jameis has, no eyesight and apparently, look, they're playing the Wakanda trailer right now on TV. I'm distracted. What a goddamn movie that's going to be. Dolphins at the Jets. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Me as well.
See that Tyreek Hill came out
Is it
today?
bad that I missed Teddy Bridgewater?
Do you?
I kind of miss him in Carolina. We took him for granted.
That is so sad. I feel so bad for you. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting to that point with I'm watching Bailey Zappi play. He doesn't even know what a football looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's bad. Falcons at the Bucks. Bucks bounce back. I know who would have thought 2-2 Falcons and 2-2 Bucks both tied for the division lead.
This Bucks offense is pretty bad.
I think they figured it out in the second half.
They definitely looked like it. That Atlanta defense. I mean, listen, AJ Terrell,
That's somebody you might have to put respect on his name.
Yeah. If I had to pick one corner right now, he has to lock this guy up. I need him. I'm taking AJ Terrell. He is so good. But I'm going with the Bucks.
The Titans at the Commanders. Going with the Titans.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Titans. Went with the Commanders last week. I fucking hate Carson Wentz. Even those dope black jerseys, all black out.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely
he made it look
gorgeous. Texans at the Jags. Listen, this would normally be the toilet bowl. Jags are a team now.
Yeah, going with the Jags. Also, like I said, go ahead and hammer this over as well. Because I said these are the two teams when they're playing against anybody, you should take them. They're playing each other. This game might end up 65-62.
Would be something. 49ers go and visit your Panthers, Josh.
I don't know, man. I'm down 3. This would guarantee I lost.
Is it a guarantee, though?
Yes, we suck.
How good are the 49ers, though?
So much better than us.
I'm going 49ers, but I mean...
I don't know what to do.
Hey, listen, I took my boys this week.
That's so different. So different.
They're playing the Lions. They're better right now. The
This
Lions
team
are
was one win away from a Super Bowl appearance, and they were in the Super Bowl 2 years earlier. You're playing against a team that just drafted Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, but we're playing Bailey Zappi.
And you have the greatest coach of all time.
Bailey Zappi.
I have a guy who the biggest thing he's done is turn around Baylor, and they stuck still. They were barely above 500, but he turned them around. Yeah, give me Carolina.
What a guy Josh is. What a guy. Cowboys at the Rams. Give me the Rams.
This is an interesting one.
Hey, the streak has to come to an end eventually. I'm sorry, Mr. Cooper Rush.
But is this that game?
You know what? Hey, it might not be.
Yeah,
There's upsets every week, Josh.
I'm going Rams. I just took the Panthers. I can't throw Cooper Rush in there too.
Yeah, true. Eagles at the Cardinals. The Battle of the Birds. Eagles all the way.
Kyler is gonna he'll probably rush for 75, but in total it's gonna be 800 yards from sideline to sideline. It's gonna be a long day for him. Give me the Eagles.
A great Sunday night football game here. Bengals heading over to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Going with the Bengals.
I really wanted you to go Ravens.
Their pass defense is terrible.
Which sucks because they have good players back there. Why is it so bad?
Did you see Jimmy Smith retired?
He did. Okay.
He did. Yeah.
Shout out Jimmy Smith. So what have we disagreed on so far?
Patriots, Lions,
You took the Browns.
Chargers, Browns.
I like my odds in those ones,
And that's
but
it.
I also took Carolina.
Oh no, Carolina. Yeah.
So, at best, I could be down 1 right now, which isn't bad. It's better than where we are. But if I take Baltimore, I could tie it up.
Got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes here, Josh.
Did you in week 5, though?
Listen, it was, guys, let me tell you the text message Josh sent me. This man said, where is it? Let's see here. 3-game lead for you. Low-key feels like it's GG's to me.
It does, bro.
This man is stressed.
It is tough. Like this 3-game, this is like a NBA playoffs. Like I'm down 3-0. Like it is not an ideal
and
spot.
You're down 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, it is. It is not ideal, but I'll go with the Bengals.
Okay. And then we rounded out Monday Night Football. We always make a prediction.
Yeah, should we just not?
Probably not.
But then I'll forget to add it to the graphic.
Exactly. Then it's stupid that I even put it on here. So we're gonna make a prediction anyway. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
See, it wasn't
They
even
might put up 58 points this game.
I'm really hoping that the Dolphins go crazy against the Jets. First, I need some Tyreek Hill points. He's been pretty consistent for me.
Yeah.
Did I even tell you what Tyreek said about the Jets?
Oh, I did. I heard.
Why didn't it happen? He was like state taxes, man.
Yeah.
Hey, can't blame you. Florida got no state tax. Must be nice. But hey, listen, it's been a nice time, I should say. But we gotta head out of here. That did not feel like an hour and 51 minutes.
Did not.
That's how you know we're having a great time. But with all that being said, listen, for me, Generational Sports is Monday, 7 Eastern. Tuesdays is the Hard Count, 9 Eastern. Thursdays is Backstop Banter, 9 Eastern. You can follow all of those at the Twitter pages with those exact names, Gen Z Sports, the Hard Count _, Backstop Banter. All 3 of those podcasts are available everywhere podcasts are listened to. That would be Apple. That would be Spotify. That would be iHeartRadio. If you want to listen to it on Anchor, go ahead. If you want to listen to it on Google, I believe you can. But with all that being said, I'll hand it over to Josh. We'll head on out of here, okay?
Says the Rams are on their own 0. I don't know how that happens. But.
Punt just went to the end zone. Around the 25.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter @Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can chat and hear with us like Vic does, like Christian does, Dustin, everybody. And head over to Underdog. Use code Gen Z. They'll be your first deposit. And then go win some more money with the money you're getting from our promo code. So use code Gen Z. And then tune in Monday, 7 Eastern.
You make an excellent point. Love them. Love me some Underdog. New insurance policy that they have this year, beautiful. They're trying to give you money. They're trying to. But hey, listen, with all that being said, Josh, appreciate another wonderful episode. Everybody, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for listening to the pod as well. But with all that being said, have a good one. Till next week.